Greetings! Welcome to the Devlog for Alpha 2 of Update 102 of Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades. We're going to start off as always with a quick sound check. Make sure speakers aren't up too high. Wonderful. So what have we got for you this week? Well, it is a special day of the year. That's right, it is April Fool's Day, and unlike a whole bunch of the brands out there that like to be like to spend today going like, hey, here's this cool thing that you'd love to do, haha, what a funny joke, we're not actually going to do that. Over here in H3 land, we always take, well, not always, but as often as able, take today as an opportunity to put even more ridiculous than usual guns into the game. And so let's jump right into it. Let's take a look at the first of our three toys. So this piece was inspired by a future Sosa gun entry from our contest, not this past year, but the year prior, and it is the Uzi Nano for folks who need an even more compact Uzi. So the original sort of idea for this in the contest entry, actually I think had it even shorter than this, and sort of functioned via what was called shake fire, which would have worked fine for a Sosa gun, but didn't. I could not figure out how to make that mechanically make sense. And so this instead was a sort of a modeling surgery exercise in taking an Uzi and going exactly how short could I get this. And so you'll notice here that the bolt does still traverse, but it does not move very far, because it'd come out the back plate if it went any further. And because of that, even a full 9mm length cartridge, it wouldn't come far enough back. So we have a modified Uzi magazine with 25 ACP in it, like so. And of course, because of the fact that the bolt traversal is super short, as you might imagine, this cycles a little fast. So there it is on semi and full. You know, let's pull this a little closer in so that we can actually hit it. Here we go. And whoop, and whew. I think that is technically the fastest that I can get an open bolt gun in H3 to cycle. My controllers hit each other if I try to put a suppressor on, so I gotta do it with it. Just there we go. That should work. Perfect. Suppressed's even better. So stupid. And of course, despite the incredibly high cyclic rate, it's 25 ACP, so it's kind of like shooting BBs. Oh, just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I hope you enjoy this. I put a stock point on this as well, so you can totally tactical this back into being not a small gun, and I look forward to seeing what monstrosities you folk make with it. Wonderful. Next up, we have the first of two, call them guest firearm ideas for today. This one is from Carl. You might have seen some of his wonderful videos online. He's the fellow who has done those videos where you see someone reloading mundane objects as though they were first-person shooter guns. Super fun, and this model is actually made by him as well, and it takes one of the sort of mundane objects that he was jokingly reloading and turns it sort of back into an actual gun, albeit one that uses some cartoon logic. And so I present to you the BFB, Baby's First Boomstick. Yeah, it's like a little kid's plastic toy meets, I guess, kind of a SPAS 12. This was one of those, I almost didn't get this in here, because I'll be honest, I kept looking at it being like, it's got a bolt handle and a bolt, but the rounds go in here, and I just could not figure out how to make it work. And there's still a lot of cartoon logic in here, and it's one of the things about when you make guns operate realistically, like they do in H3, and build those systems to all present that well, it actually becomes much harder to do just completely arbitrary mechanisms and operations unless you want to do everything over from scratch again. So this fires 12 gauge short, and the way we open it is we go down the line with these buttons. And then load them up. Perfect. Pull the bolt handle back. Just check out that pro sight picture. I hope you all enjoy my very professional Foley work for it. Oh. Haha, there we go. So there you go. The second gun in H3 chambered in 12 gauge short, the BFB. What am I doing with my life? And then lastly, I have a truly special creation here for you from our artist Ole. This is in many ways a sequel to a gun he made in the past for a past sort of cursed gun update, which was called the IPSC 2011. And this is in many ways the single most powerful AR platform weapon that's ever gone into the game. I give you the U-Spatial, spelled U-S-P-S-A-E-C-I-A-L. And this right here, this is the ultimate race gun. You might ask yourself, how, once you get past a certain point of efficiency with your shooting, how can you go even further than that? How can you make sure you plink that steel even faster? Well, my good friend, the answer is we need to use an exploding round. The U-Spatial here, while looking at first like a, well, I certainly wouldn't call this a mundane AR-15. It is certainly blinged out. We've got our tactical controls here, match trigger. I mean, this thing is just about as kitted as possible. But you're like, wait a minute, there's magwell looks weird. What's going? Oh, that's because of the fact that this doesn't fire 5.56. This fires 20 millimeter. And you might be like, what? How could you fit? Well, if we grab our stock here and pull it back, oh, it's a break action. Pop a 20, go in your home. There we go. Boop. Go like that, and boom. And then how do we roll load this? We pull our stock back again, bam, and we pull our ejection lever. Haha, perfect. Truly the ultimate the ultimate evolution of the AR-15 platform. Boom. Oh, but wait, we're not done here. Let's reset that. One of the most important things for a tactical platform, for an ideal competition gun, is having the right sights for it. So you might think to yourself, a 20 millimeter gun with no internal reciprocating barrel, that's gonna damage most scopes. And you would be right, which is why we have the U-Spatial Ultra Scope, which is designed for the 20 millimeter platform, but not having any glass in it. Ta-da! We've gone back to basics here and have overlapping simple wire indicators for ultimate accuracy. Yes. Perfect. However, you might find yourself in a situation where you have to engage targets that are far away like that and up close. You don't want to obstruct your sight picture on your Ultra Scope, which is why we've got a new patent-pending set of U-Spatial ambidextrous duo sights, so we can rapidly switch from our Ultra Scope, bam, even to an even more tactical posture. Boom. Which, of course, oh, this gun is, I'm not left-handed. And we can, of course, also fire this from the left-handed posture. Beautiful. Truly a weapon of our age. The U-Spatial. Bammo. Oh my goodness. Well, I hope you folks all enjoy these. Let's jump out of VR quick. Yo! So I hope you enjoy all of those. I must admit it's especially after having spent so much time making guns work correctly. There's something weirdly freeing, and I think it's part of the reason I like some of the Meat Fortress guns, to just make things work not correctly, or to try to like you wouldn't believe the amount of because Ole, when he's working on farms, actually uses like basically CAD software or CAD adjacent software to make the models. So I was getting like cross sections as he was developing the mechanism, and we were sort of talking through like, all right, if we're putting a 20 millimeter shell into the upper receiver, like what's it going to look like internally? Like, could this theoretically function? And I mean, in real life, this would just explode probably. But there's some modicum of plausibility to its structure, assuming the materials were strong enough to handle the pressures involved. But it's it's a fun thing. One of the things that when you make a simulation game and are able to do things really realistically is that you have contrast available to you when you decide to diverge from exact simulatory realism. I don't know, I feel like it's more impactful, especially when you have the sort of strange UX that you can get from hand-tracked VR. So this is always a delight to do, even though that the baby's first boomstick, I spent several days just looking at it being like, I don't want to make a new gun script completely from scratch, because then I'll have to maintain it. But I don't know which one of my existing gun scripts can be tortured into place to get this mechanism to even remotely work. But figured it out, honestly, at the last minute. So I hope you all enjoy this. The goal, as I've spoken with the modders and things seems pretty stable, is we're going to probably go main branch with update 102 next week to finally get, because there have been a couple, I still get the same like bug reports from new people who buy the game and are on the main branch, stuff that's been fixed for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I just want to finally get it out there. The game is stable enough for that, and then we'll move on to whatever our next topic of focus is. So I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and obviously, given the day, don't believe anything you read on the internet. See you soon. Peace.